Before we get into today's topic, let me ask you something. When was the last time a single statement from a political figure sent shockwaves across the entire country in just minutes? Well, that's exactly what happened today. A comment from former President Donald Trump has ignited massive backlash nationwide, and people are still trying to process the impact and the meaning behind his explosive claim about Somali immigrants. This story isn't just trending, it's taking over conversations everywhere, and the reactions are only getting louder. So let's break it all down clearly, calmly, and directly. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a closer look at the controversies surrounding Trump's latest remarks, why they're sparking outrage, and what this means moving forward. We're going to walk through the full picture, including the external political landscape, the internal dynamics behind this issue, the performance of both sides in responding, the safety and social implications, the unique factors that make this moment different, the overall cost and consequences. And finally, a complete conclusion that ties everything together. Let's get right into it. The external environment around this controversy is more tense than it might appear on the surface. Immigration has been one of the most polarizing issues in the United States for years, and every election cycle reactivates old debates. This comment didn't happen in a vacuum. It landed right in the middle of an already heated national conversation where people are strongly divided on how immigration should be handled, which groups should be prioritized, and what America's identity should look like moving forward. Trump's statement hit directly at a community that has been discussed repeatedly in political circles, particularly in states like Minnesota, where Somali Americans have a significant presence. The political atmosphere is already charged, and a remark like this presses directly on the pressure points of public opinion, media narratives, and election season momentum. On the outside, reactions came fast. Social media platforms filled up instantly with responses from both supporters and critics. Some people praised the directness, arguing that Trump was saying what others are afraid to say. But far more voices expressed outrage, calling the statement degrading, dangerous, and intentionally divisive. Community leaders, advocacy groups, and even lawmakers condemned the language, warning that these kinds of messages can increase tensions and put immigrant communities at risk. News outlets jumped on the quote immediately, analyzing every detail and discussing whether statements like this cross ethical lines or represent legitimate political critique. The external political climate is loud, emotional, and deeply connected to broader issues like national identity, border security, multiculturalism, and the role of immigrants in America. Moving inside the issue, we find the internal dynamics that make this moment more complicated than it looks. Somali immigrants in the U.S. represent a diverse group of families, workers, students, entrepreneurs, and community members who have built lives here over decades. Many have fled conflict, seeking safety, stability, and opportunity. When a comment describes them as contributing in nothing, that message strikes at the heart of their presence and their value. The emotional impact on communities is real, with many people expressing fear, frustration, or exhaustion from feeling continuously targeted in political discussions. For many Somali Americans, comments like these aren't just political. They are personal. At the same time, the internal strategy behind Trump's wording appears intentional. Political analysts often note that he uses highly charged language to energize his base, attract attention, and dominate the news cycle. Some experts believe the internal objective is to frame immigration in the strongest, simplest terms possible to activate emotional responses, rather than policy-based conversations. Others argue that the comment reflects a broader theme Trump has repeated throughout his political career, positioning himself as the candidate willing to speak without filters, even if it leads to backlash. Whether one agrees or disagrees, the internal mechanics of how this messaging works play a key role in shaping why the statement became so explosive. When we shift to performance, meaning how each side is responding, we see a clash of narratives forming. Trump's supporters are performing in a highly unified manner, pushing out posts, videos, and comments defending his statements. They often argue that he's highlighting failures of the immigration system, or that he's drawing attention to crime, government spending, or assimilation, challenges. This group's performance is about amplifying a message and reinforcing a sense of shared belief. Meanwhile, critics, ranging from politicians to activists to everyday citizens, are responding with strong organization. They are calling press conferences, releasing statements, posting viral responses, and demanding accountability. Their performance focuses on pushing back against rhetoric they view as harmful or inaccurate. The pace of the response shows how quickly political commentary can turn into widespread mobilization. Each side is performing to its own audience, and both are trying to control the story. Then comes the broader question of safety and the social implications of statements like this. Experts and community leaders have warned for years that harsh generalizations about immigrant groups can increase discrimination, harassment, or even physical danger. Somali communities in places like Minnesota or Ohio often express concern that negative political comments trickle down into everyday life, school interactions, workplace treatment, or even simple errands. Safety isn't just about physical risk, it's also about mental and emotional well-being. When people feel devalued or stereotyped, it impacts how they move through society. Some law enforcement officials also pay attention to moments like these, because they can increase tension between community and local authorities. Public safety is affected when groups feel targeted, leading to distrust or fear. On the other hand, some supporters claim the safety issue is about national security and argue that discussions about immigrant communities should be open, honest, and not overly censored. Regardless of where someone stands, the safety conversation is central to why the outrage around this comment is so intense. A major part of understanding this controversy is identifying what makes this moment different, its unique selling points. The first unique factor is timing. Political seasons magnify everything, and every statement carries strategic weight. The second is the specific community referenced. Somali immigrants, particularly in Minnesota, have become symbolic in political debates due to their visible representation in public office and local communities. The third unique element is the intensity of online reaction. In a world where social media dictates the pace of news, controversial comments can become global stories within seconds. The final unique factor is Trump himself. His reputation, his communication style, and his long history of making bold remarks give this story a built-in level of impact that other politicians wouldn't produce. When we talk about the price of this controversy, we're looking at the cost on multiple levels. For Somali immigrants, the emotional cost is high. Feeling publicly dismissed or insulted takes a toll. For the political landscape, the cost includes deeper division, disrupted policy discussions, and increased tension between communities. Financially, the price could also appear as more resources needed for law enforcement monitoring, community outreach, or damage control from public officials. For Trump, the cost or benefit depends entirely on public reaction. Some analysts believe comments like this help him gain support in targeted voter groups, while others warn it could push away moderates or independent voters who want stability rather than conflict. After looking at the full picture, here's the conclusion. This controversy isn't just about one statement, it's about how language, leadership, and timing collide to shape national conversations. Trump's explosive claim has ignited public outrage because it touches on long-standing tensions around immigration, identity, and belonging in the United States. It raises emotional questions about who is valued, who decides that value, and how communities respond when they feel insulted or ignored. This moment is a reminder that politics isn't just policy. It's people, emotions, and narratives competing in real time. The impact of the comment will continue to unfold in the days ahead. But one thing is clear. The reaction shows how powerful words can be, especially when spoken by public figures with massive influence. Whether someone sees the comment as truth-telling or dangerous rhetoric, no one can deny that it captured national attention instantly. And as the discussion grows, it becomes more important than ever to understand the full context, listen to voices on all sides, and approach these conversations with clarity, awareness, and responsibility. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay informed, stay thoughtful, and stay engaged.